Any fans of LA Noire in the video?
Oh yeah.
Do they play that song on the radio in normal LA Noire? Is that a LA Noire VR exclusive song?
No, I think that was in the normal one.
It was such a pop song of the time, really.
Yeah.
We're talking about LA Noire VR.
Don't make music like they used to.
I was showing all of the VR footage that I've been playing. I've been playing the VR Next Fest, and I gotta say, it was, apart from Green Hell VR and this random little tech demo this one guy made, it was pretty shit. But like most years, I mean, there was like the one year where we had some interesting stuff, like when we had like actual demos for content, where we had like the Sam and Max, this time it's virtual. And we had stuff like we had like I Expect You to Die Too. We had that demo. We had like actual VR games.
Didn't they call it like VR demo? Like they were like massively trying to push it.
There's a VR tag. Multiplayer demos don't get a tag at the top. VR does, and the VR games are fucking awful.
Right, that's unfortunate. So wait, what's this game then?
This is a game called Aluminium or Aluminium, depending on where you're from.
Aluminium.
Aluminium, yeah.
Wait, no, it's got an I in it. It's aluminium.
Okay, it's not aluminum.
No.
Oh, okay. So this game. Okay, so the big advantage of this game was it worked. I gotta say, out of the 5 demos I thought were worth trying, this was one of the 2 that actually worked.
Well, so is it just okay? So it's like gun range, like
so it sort of reminds me of Pistol Whip a little bit. It's sort of just It's sort of like you just got to shoot targets and then block from this laser grid when it comes up, and then dodge projectiles, sort of like Against or Pistol Whip sort of mechanics.
Right.
It was really small. I think it was like 70 megabytes. It wasn't really that big, but it was just like more of a proof of concept, I guess.
Yeah.
So congrats to Roman Shuvalov. You made a VR demo that ran. So you made a demo that actually ran better than 90% of the Steam Demo Festival.
I'll say that was that the menu like option screen. That I quite like the look of that. That was really cool. That's the best part. Well,
one thing he put in is he put in a spectator menu, which I was impressed about until you realize that you're only seeing my left eye here. I also have right eye gameplay for right eye gamers. So,
nice.
So there was options to record either the left eye or the right eye, and that was it. You couldn't record both eyes like a lot of the other demos do. But yeah.
Well, I mean, if it's just like a text sort of proof of concept thing, I think that's fine.
Yeah, well, I think the left eye version was the best.
There it is.
Oh, you're a lefty, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, shout out to Roman.
You've forgotten his name. That's the one.
No, I have it written down. I can't forget something that's written down. So it's just randomly generated targets and obstacles with a countdown timer, and it's like an arena shooter, I guess. So this was pretty fun. Then next up we have okay. So this one actually looked kind of interesting. This was The Last Taxi.
Oh yeah.
So this was like you sat in a taxi and you had like conversations with people in VR, and I was like, that looks really fun.
Yeah, it did.
So you see that desk over there? That's what I need to interact with to start the demo. This is outside of my play space.
Right.
Currently, so I wrote down, currently the game is unplayable to me. I even tried to change my world scale options in Steam VR advanced options, which is something you should never do because it is super experimental. To try and get it to work. I eventually managed to like push myself like a meter outside my world space to hit the start game button, but then I realized as I was on it, I was like, well, I can't actually play the game because I need to interact with this fucking desk to play the game.
I have been having that issue with a number of VR games.
But this wasn't just me, because I linked to the Steam, because every time I play one of these games, I go, if it doesn't work for me, I go on the Steam discussion forums on the community hub for the game, and I go, oh, I'm having issues. This is my specs. This is the headset I'm using. But I went on there and someone already made a post. Start menu table not reachable. When I start the game after the loading screen, the table is somewhere where I can't reach in the play area. There is no option to recenter the table position, which is another fucking thing. So you need physical button presses, and you can't do anything unless you press buttons, but the buttons are outside the play space.
Why don't they just have like a reposition yourself sort of thing? Why does it have to be
static? A lot of
just move around.
The VR games I've been playing have had that button for precisely this reason, because I think that's a very common thing. I don't know how it decides on where it thinks you should be, because that does not seem to correspond with the play space you allocate in any way whatsoever.
So the dev replied saying you should try the recenter option on the Steam VR dashboard or run your room setup again. Like, that shouldn't be an acceptable thing where it's like, yeah, run your entire room setup again, just to try and get our game to work. Because you know what usually happens, Tony, is I go insane thinking that my VR's broken because I play these games, and then I load up Half-Life Alyx to realize that my VR is working flawlessly.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a problem.
I usually have a palette cleanse. Every time I play these games, I like load up Half-Life Alyx and play like a decent game again.
Maybe
it actually works.
Everyone who makes a VR game, can you just load up Half-Life Alyx?
Look,
and then go back to making your game.
I'm not trying to dunk on VR games because I know it's really hard to make VR games. But the thing is, the single-player side of the Steam Demo Festival has been really, really good, but the fucking VR side has been awful. Like, a lot of the demos have just been unplayable, and they keep releasing with these major bugs. Like, I get it. A lot of these developers can't like buy every single headset and test them on them because they're fucking expensive.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Which they are. But yeah,
I was just say like I feel like there's certain features I look at and go like I feel like they haven't been inspired by Half-Life Alyx.
I make these videos.
Ideas.
I make these videos say, hey, I had problems with this and it wasn't fixed. Like I usually download these VR games and I try them out early in the Steam demo and I keep them installed and I wait to see if they get updates and the bugs get fixed. And I've done it several times where if one of these games receives an update, I'll try it again, but this did not receive an update, so I wasn't able to try it again. And somebody else replied to the thread that I was commenting on. They had a Valve Index headset. They also had the issue. So other people with different headsets were both having this issue.
Well, it seems like the only problem is that it's missing a button to rescale.
Yeah.
Where you are, and that just seems like a very simple thing to have in your VR game, like a necessity.
VR game should have.
I want to talk about Green Hell last. I just want to talk about Virtuoso, because I was really looking forward to Virtuoso. This one looks really cool because I don't know if I think I've told you this in the past. One of my favorite VR games of all time is Electronauts. I fucking love Electronauts. It's so much fun. I would recommend everyone to play Electronauts. It's like, I know like the killer app most people consider to be Beat Saber, but I'm really not into rhythm games. Electronauts is like my music VR game. It's all about creating your own beats, and basically you're like a virtual DJ and you make your own like virtual sets in VR. It is so much fun. And basically this is what Virtuoso was. You had like a bunch of drum kits and beats, and you make your own patterns, and then you can mix them to songs. Me and everyone on Vive could not launch this game. Apparently it was working for people on Quest, I think. But based on the discussion forum, when you start the game, the right controller was missing. To everyone else as well. We only got one controller.
Oh, right. Okay.
No one could actually start the game using the Vive ones. And yeah, apparently there was an issue, and they tried like a janky workaround where you would have to launch the game from your computer with Steam VR turned off in order to try and get like Oculus control to work, but
right.
like I
Yeah.
couldn't get it to work. I think basically what they said was the issue will be fixed by the release on March 10th, which is like 9 days away.
You would hope so.
So you would hope
yeah.
in a couple of weeks that this game is going to release that it would actually work on one of the most popular headsets on Steam VR. So
Do you
we'll
think it's
have
one of
to
those
see.
things they didn't have one to test it on, so they didn't realize?
Because it
problem?
wasn't just a Vive problem either. People with Index
okay.
were reporting this issue as well. So
Well, no, I just wondered, did they only have like a meta quest and like that was it?
yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. Hopefully, I would have been more confident in this game if they said, "Hey, that's an issue. We're gonna fix. You've reported to this issue to us. At the beginning of the demo festival, which I did. We're gonna We're gonna spend the next week fixing this, so we can release another demo that actually works before the game comes out. But they're just saying buy the full game and trust us, which I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But let's talk about a really good VR experience, and it comes from a controversial one between me and Dave. Green Hell VR is really fucking good. I was really blown away by how good this demo was. It was fantastic. So it's made by Incuvo, and I believe so far Incuvo's worked on, I think it was like the Blair Witch Hunter VR, and they worked on like Layers of Fear VR, or like some of the ones they worked on which have had like mixed reviews sort of thing. Some people like them, some people don't.
Okay. But this one worked really well.
This is a really competent VR game. So talking about, because I'll be talking about the Forest VR later, and this is built from the ground up for VR. It's a good, competent VR game. It ran well on my system. I did hear reports from people at Upload VR. There was some performance issues on other people's systems. So we'll have to see about that. I like that I went into the comfort options immediately. It's just a habit of mine because I've played a lot of VR just to see, what comfort options they have. But immediately, as you
rebinding keys.
The really cool thing was immediately as you launch the game, it asks you what comfort options you want. There's teleportation. There's vignette mode where it blacks out part of the screen when you move to help with that sort of stuff. 45-degree turning. You can have smooth turning or smooth turning off. All of that great stuff. So this is actually, I know Dave will be able to tell you more about the story. This is set when you and Maya first go to talk to the tribe. You don't actually get to see Mia close up.
It's really
but this is your like first experience in the jungle together to meeting the tribe for the first time.
Yeah.
Because she'll walkie-talkie you from the boat, sort of thing.
It's kind of like a prequel sort of thing, I guess.
Sort of, because there's
Spirits of Amazonia.
Spirits of Amazonia is also a prequel.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, I haven't played Spirits of Amazonia. It has the actual climb mechanic, which I've come to enjoy. I like physical ladder climbing, and I like physical rope climbing.
Yeah.
No,
that's something you can't like do like a normal game. So like,
the one thing I'll point out about this is full arm tracking, and instead of going for the hand tracking route, which does make sense in this game considering the fact that in Green Hell you need to like check your arm for lesions and bites and stuff like that. It has like the system is quite similar to how it works. Is quite similar to Saints and Sinners, where you like grab over your shoulder and get out a backpack and you put stuff in your backpack. It's sort of like Saints and Sinners light. Like it's not quite as good as Saints and Sinners, but it is competent. Like it is good. I did, as Dave pointed out when I was showing him the test recording, I was like, it is quite hard to push the buttons because you're sort of pushing into the Vive controllers.
Oh, right. Yeah, I didn't even think about
that. But you can select there is different dialogue options you can say to Mia and have conversations with her.
What exactly?
So does this continue into the story where you play Green Hell, like the actual game, like the normal game? Or is this just entirely separate?
So, I don't know if this is going to be actual Green Hell because the demo itself was sort of a linear closed off experience where it's sort of you cycled through several days and it was just teaching you like the basics and stuff like that.
Okay, so it's sort of like the tutorial or what you think was happening in the tutorial of the main game.
Yeah. I don't know.
I
'Cause
imagine it would then.
in the demo, you don't get to see it open up, so that's still like open. Whether it's I assume it's going to be open. I also assume because in the demo there is specific differences with the crafting and stuff like that, where it's been built for VR. So I would assume it's going to be different from the Forest, where the VR was slapped on the top and you had crossplay from VR players and non-VR players. But because of the fundamental differences between VR and non-VR for Green Hell, I think it's going to be a situation where you're not going to be able to have crossplay. I think multiplayer might be off the table for non-VR. Also, in Green Hell, you're always looking at the floor you're stepping on. You're doing it more so in VR because I'm like, shit, am I stepping on a snake or something?
Yeah, I feel you.
There is smooth locomotion and teleportation. I used smooth locomotion more because the teleportation for the Vive ones wasn't great.
Yeah.
How's the locomotion then? Like, how does that actually work? You just
So I'm pushing forward on a
Right.
the D pad on the Vive wand.
Analog stick, yeah.
No, there's no analog sticks on the Vive
Oh,
ones.
okay.
Come on, let's not
Yeah,
get ahead
they've
of
got
ourselves.
haptic touch.
Still to this day, the Vive wand is the exact like the Vive Pro 2. That's I don't know if it's come out yet, but is like a current gen Vive headset. To this day, they still use the original Vive wands. They have not iterated on the design
Really?
for like what is it, like 5 years or something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was like, move the log. I was like, I'm gonna smash the log. I'm gonna break the system.
It's not letting you break the system by the looks of it.
You can't trust the system, man.
That looks pretty stuck now. I don't like that. Right.
No, he should be able to carry the log. I want to see how he does that.
It just told me to crouch. I was like, I just sort of pushed it over, I think, and then crouched, sort of walk past it. I was like, you're supposed to walk around there. No, I'm going to jump down and go straight to the camp. Okay, so this is something I should point out. So in Green Hell, you need to like take leeches
how many times I look at that still looks
off your
bloody
leg.
stupid.
But you can track your arms with the controllers, right?
Yeah.
So it's easy to just look at your arms, right?
There's
like I'm
no
doing
Vive
here.
boots.
But
yeah.
Okay, so this is something I'm gonna. There is Tony. There's the Vive leg trackers.
What? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's no like.
You can get the Vive. What I would love to see is for them to add Vive tracker full body tracking support and have the ability to physically pick up your legs with the Vive trackers and look at them. This would be such a small use case for people who actually use that setup, but I think it would be really cool to see.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I don't know how much extra development time that requires, but that would be like a nice if you have this, then you get extra features. That would be kind of cool.
So I was skeptical of full body tracking at first, like the fully tracking your torso and your arm stuff like in Boneless, because it may be more realistic. You know, in games like this is more realistic, but I'm like, is it more fun? Like like in Alex and stuff, like it's so much less janky and more usable when you just have floating hands when it is when you have the full arm tracking. But it makes sense in this game because when you take into account the fact that you need to check your arms for wounds, and also when you put on bandages, Dave, you physically wrap them around your arm, sort of thing.
Yeah, I just get looking at the backpack. That's so cool.
I love it.
It opens each layer of it.
Yeah, you can like just throw stuff into your backpack. You can place it specifically like the Tetris system you have in Green Hell. Also, there's like a slight gravity to it. You don't have to keep bending down to pick up everything. I really liked that quality of life change where they realized, like in Alex, the ability to, gravity glove pick up stuff was like, it wasn't just like a gimmicky feature. It was super like, it made the game super accessible.
Can you rotate stuff is what I want to know. Can you rotate stuff while doing a attaché case Tetris puzzle?
I think so, yeah. I'm not 100% sure, though. I don't think I just sort of moved it around. You could definitely move it around.
Yeah, no, because if there is a way, I don't know it, but you couldn't rotate stuff in the normal game, and that was really annoying. And it made sorting out your
Wait,
bag
what?
quite
So
difficult.
they have a grid system, but you can't rotate stuff.
Yes.
Maybe you can.
What?
Or maybe you can, but was not obvious, and I couldn't find anything in the controls when I was playing it to do it.
Right.
It sort of like skips across days, and then each day you'll have a different like
That's everything.
gameplay sort of, and it sort of goes over.
This is just looking like the tutorial from Green Hell.
Right, it sort of goes over like Mia's. You're talking to Mia, and she's going to meet the villagers, and
Yeah,
she's-
no, I think
yeah.
this is just the tutorial from Green
Right.
Hell, but obviously they've changed it for
Delicious
VR in
tune.
some way.
Good.
All that metal you could smell there, Joe.
There it is.
Let's have a romantic dinner.
Romantic canned beans.
Pick up one of these Amazonian masks.
Can you wear it?
Yeah, you can.
Nice.
I was trying to put on new jeans, but I couldn't figure out how. I don't think
You
you
can
can.
unfold them. They're just folded tight.
Well, they were Mia's jeans. That was the issue, I think.
Oh, right.
Let's strip the mask off before consuming. You can pick stuff up and then you can read it like as it's written, or you can like click it again and then it'll bring up in text form. All
Yeah.
of the
that's good.
prompts were Oculus controllers, so I was like, oh, this was designed for Quest, but sure, I don't expect them to make every icon like specifically for each controller.
Yes.
As you can see there, like if something's close enough to you that you could reasonably grab it, you'll be able to just, you know, pull it
Yeah.
towards you, which again,
That makes
I
sense.
cannot overstate how like great
It's not
that is.
realistic.
Oh,
that
guys,
it's more
whiteboards.
accessibility. Wait, what?
Yo,
Oh my god! This is the next level feature we've needed.
you want a smiley face?
Right. Okay. Can you use multiple different colors? I feel like
Yeah, you can use different
no,
colors.
you're not
I
taking the
was
full
writing a
effect of the
message to you
whiteboard.
guys just for when you're watching it. I'm in hell, and it's written in green, guys.
I get it.
Okay. But wait, yeah, does this work? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. You can
Oh
erase
my
it
God.
off. I mean, if anyone's played the first 5 minutes of Half-Life Alyx, you'll know how fun writing on whiteboards can be.
If anyone's played Duke Nukem Forever.
They'll know how much fun playing with turds can be, yeah.
Right. No, that's actually really cool. It's like yeah.
It was a little bit glitchy when I was first playing with the pens. I was just writing a message.
Are we going to have to censor that?
Yup.
It's a question.
I go
Right.
further into the tutorial and it's still written on the whiteboard. That's what I wanted to point out.
Persistent whiteboard.
The system was. Oh, you can listen to like this little
I hope
audio
when you go to
recorders.
the tent at the end of the game that it's still written there. Like, all dilapidated and that.
Skip ahead a little bit.
This is really well put together though. Like I
Yeah.
feel like
So there
A
is
lot
VR
into
specific
this.
differences. So, you know, in normal Green Hell, Dave, you craft out of your backpack anywhere on a stone. In Green
Yeah.
Hell VR, you have to build a crafting table in order to be able to craft.
Okay.
Yes. Instead of out of your victory, when you make a fire, you have to spark flint with a weapon. That's a VR difference as well, I believe. You do not have a hand drill. You have to you have to find flint in the river, and then you slash your weapon against the flint to make the fire.
Anything missing?
So there is like
Why do
fundamental.
you think that is?
I don't know, because I don't think it would be that hard to make a hand drill.
No.
But I guess
no.
it's giving you less stuff
more
to.
gameplay though.
I think it's giving you less stuff to carry around. They don't want to give you another tool. They just want you to have flint in your backpack, and then because when you think about the VR version, you're going to have to carry around every single tool. You have 2 slots on your body to carry around things, so you can put like a machete in those 2 slots below you. So I guess it's just the idea is it's just making it so there's less stuff you have to carry, basically.
Yeah,
I'm
but the
thinking.
thing about the crafting table, that seems like it makes it a bit more difficult because because you could do it anywhere, you wouldn't have to carry so much stuff, and some stuff you couldn't, like if you're doing stuff with long sticks in particular or bamboo leaves, it's quite a pain in the ass where it seems like it would be, whereas it was easy to just go to a tree, chop it down and do the crafting there.
Again,
If you get what
I
I mean.
love the gravity pull that you get. It just makes it so much more playable. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think it's just you also need to think about, Dave, you have a limited amount of buttons in the game.
Yeah.
So the ability to craft a crafting table and then
I think I would need to play it myself
Yeah.
and to fully understand why they've implemented that change. Are there any more changes that you are aware of?
those were the main ones that I could think of.
Don't tell me.
But if you see any, let me know.
Yeah.
Did you check
So
everything?
this
How
is
long's the tutorial going for?
about 40 minutes is what
Well,
I don't remember how it
that's
ends, so I think it maybe just fades to black afterwards. So you get flint from the river, you find it in the river, and then you get a sharp weapon like a machete or something, you just create sparks off it.
I would say, like, I feel like would this not be
Yeah,
like a
surely
more
you'd need.
fun experience than like another tool?
Well, I'm thinking to get sparks off flint, you need something metal. You don't get many metal tools.
You get machetes in this
Not
though,
likely
like
of a
straight
choice.
away.
Well, no, you did in the tutorial, in the
Right, but
main
I
game.
assume they're gonna give you like a machete straight away in the full game, is what I would assume based on playing this.
But they do run out, and then I'm thinking, unless you're at the stage where you're
I
smelting metal.
think based on the changes we've already seen, there's gonna be more changes for the full game. We're really not gonna know until the full game comes out.
Yeah. Just seems that if you're relying on.
So I think we go from day 2 to like
How do you do
you
it?
get to sit with Mia, but you can't see her, her like face is obscured by the smoke. Every time I tried to look at it, it kept like resetting me.
Nice
Yeah,
try.
saying you're out of the space, yeah.
No, jaguars, venomous spiders, and snakes. Let's not forget the scorpion. If I knew it would.
Skip ahead just so I can look at the. Oh, you have like a different page on your watch. There's like a macro elements page. So
Your
there's
Apple- your Apple
the
Watch.
time. There's the macro elements, and there's also this page as well, which shows you your sanity, your health,
Yeah,
your
because they were the
energy.
things you would have on your
Yeah,
HUD.
you would have it on your
Yeah.
HUDs, and now it's been moved to the watch for the VR version.
So I don't remember sitting with Mia. I think that is new.
Bring that close to your mouth. Eat food.
Goal.
Blue flower thorns. Blue flower thorns. There's a part where you're looking for like millennial leaves, and you're just blue flower thorns.
The buttons are a
The
little bit fiddly.
buttons.
Grappling hook. I think I did this very well first time. Whoa. Let's go. That wasn't scripted,
okay.
guys. I got first try. Was this scripted in the tutorial?
No, but you would just
Oh, fuck me.
no,
This
I
is like
Fall
teach.
down.
don't think
this-
you have the grappling hook in the tutorial. But I think it's to teach you you need to
Yeah.
swing it like you would an actual
I know
grappling
I was
hook.
supposed to
It's to
know,
teach
but
you how to heal
the
yourself
line
when you get
snapped and I
injured
fell
as
down a
well.
good 30 feet. It's all right.
You have to check your legs and
That's definitely not good.
it's just a scratch. And then figuring out how to craft was really confusing because this was the big change that confused me was the crafting table.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, I've got the leaf. How do I craft with it? And I got really confused until I went to. I was just like trying to slap it on my
Waving
leg.
it on, yeah.
But then I think you go to the crafting thing, and then there's specifically a crafting table now. Yeah, so you go
So
here.
in the
Crafting
base
table allows you to craft items, so you have to place this down. I guess I don't think you need materials to place it though.
Yeah.
Again, this is a change that
No,
makes
that seems all right then compared to the normal crafting. If it's not material costs and you can do it pretty much anywhere there's space for it, then that doesn't seem so bad.
And you like, oh, then you have to like physically wrap it around your limbs to put the bandages on, which I think is pretty cool.
That's very nice. Yeah. I'm quite sad that I missed out on it.
Well, you got a VR headset recently, and I said to you, download.
Yeah, I had it downloaded. I had it
Green Hell
downloaded.
demo, and you didn't play it, Dave. You didn't play it. You were playing Gorilla Tag instead.
I was playing Gorilla Tag, yeah.
But yeah, Green Hell VR. I think it just goes to a cutscene. Just like there's more coming. I was just making sure that people know about the important stuff that was happening on the whiteboard.
Yeah.
Right. Just highlighting it, yeah.
But then it just goes to like a trailer. I was like, do that, ba 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 do. It just sort
Can
of.
we watch the trailer?
It just fades to black. Yeah, we can watch the trailer. It's one of those trailers in VR, which I always say I hate because it really takes you out of it.
Yeah.
Is that a pancake trailer? What the hell? Yeah, how
Did you get to try swimming, or was there
No.
no bodies of water?
There was no swimming from what I could tell. Although swimming in the forest VR was awful, so...
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
I was really hoping it ended with you getting, like, pounced on by a jaguar or something.
Or they just let to scare you?
Yeah, I thought that would be cool. You can see the crafting table here again.
Yeah? You will die. Where's the goddamn map?
Wait, is that how you know?
And those
Just one tap
capybaras.
machete on the coconut.
The bows look like a lot of fun to use.
Yep. Fighting snakes. Getting those maggots. Surviving at all costs.
You have to make it. For me.
I had to kill him.
So, I understand this is a separate game entirely. You are not getting it like you got the forest. You have to buy the Green Hell VR
Yes,
game, right?
I believe
Yeah.
so. I believe so. Because it has its own
It's
development
understandable.
studio.
If they've built it from the ground up, then a lot of work has gone into that.
So that was the... Oh, I tried to play a game called Paranormal Hunter as well, but I couldn't get it working. I couldn't even load it in VR, and I couldn't get it to load in non-VR either. It was like a scuffed Phasmophobia. I like playing those games. But I was like, I just couldn't get it to work, so I was like, fuck it. But that's the Demo Festival, so that's... Green Hell VR was really good. I really enjoyed that.
Did you enjoy it more than you did Green Hell?
The problem is, it was such a small slice of life.
Yeah, it was just the tutorial section.
If the actual VR version is more linear, I think I would prefer it. I think I would prefer a more like directed experience in Green Hell. I felt like when we had objectives and things to do, I was having a lot more fun. So yeah, we'll have to see about that.
So I was very impressed with like Green Hell's,
But
I guess, movement and mechanics, I guess, in VR.
But
It's
I definitely think that VR development just needs to step up, especially when it comes to demos. We need to see some improvement of, releasing buggy, broken demos.
Yeah. Am I one of the things that maybe like more resources like needed for like to test on different headsets and things? I don't know what the actual problem is, but yeah.
For sure. But I was like,
better.
palate cleanser. Usually, what I do is I play Half-Life Alyx, and I go, oh, I'll usually play the Half-Life Alyx workshop because I'm always playing Half-Life Alyx because it's so great. But I'm waiting for some stuff to come out in the Half-Life Alyx workshop. I'm waiting for the next chapter of the Bioshock series, which is going to feature like actual Bioshock models and fighting splicers. It's going to be fucking awesome. I can't wait to play that. But I've actually been playing some other VR games, some with my friend Dave, and the first one we played together was called Blaston. Blaston, Blaston.
Right. Okay.
Blaston is essentially a PvP bullet hell fighting game. You can hear Dave talking because it records in-game audio. So you've got to slow motion bullet hell bars, and you duck, dodge, and weave to evade incoming attacks while playing your dazzling next combos in a flash of skill. You feel like Neo and leave each session with your heart racing in the super fun tactical workout. Most importantly, never stay still. So the reason I was playing this was because I got it this year, I think, or like the end of last year, because it went really cheap. And the reason I decided to pick it up, normally I don't pick up VR multiplayer games unless I specifically have a friend to play with, because the way these sort of games work is, if you don't have someone to play with, I'm not really someone who's going to queue up and go online against random people, and you're never sure about the player bases of multiplayer VR games.
We are now. We understand the player base of.
Well,
VR
I'll get into that later, Dave. The player base of VR right now.
I just wanted to mention the problem that Joe was having in his taxi one that he couldn't play. I'm having right now.
Are you trying to play? Oh, okay, right.
For me, I'm standing on like the front edge of the podium.
Oh right.
And I could not reset myself. Yep. So everything is. All the weapons are spawning behind me, and I'm having to turn around and reach out of my play space to try and.
So you're playing on the MetaQuest. It's actually called the MetaQuest 2 for you, isn't it?
Yeah. On the box, it said Oculus because obviously these were packed and.
Guys, also all of the VR gameplay.
But on the software, it does say MetaQuest
all of the VR gameplay. If you see my mouse on the screen, put your mouse over it so it feels like we're holding hands. I think all of the VR gameplay I've recorded has my mouse on the screen. I gotta just reiterate how hard it is to record VR gameplay in VR.
I still think, why can't I just hide the mouse for you? That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I feel like it shouldn't be for you to remember.
But there was also like a social room sort of thing. So okay, back to my story. I'm really tangenting off here. The reason I picked this up was because originally it was just PvP. I went, okay, I'm not going to pick up just a PvP game. They added a single player campaign element to it, which is why I picked it up. But then recently, Humble did another one of their fantastic VR bundles, which I've got to say, I think they've all been really good. 3 out of 3 have been really good.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that I haven't got some of them, because a lot of the games I specifically wanted have been in those bundles.
Yeah, like
I didn't have VR
when I got like the one with like Saints and Sinners, and stuff like that. Like, it was really
that is so good for the price of VR games.
Mm-hmm. But there was another one, and it had like Blaston in it, and it had a bunch of games I'd already picked up. So it was a good bundle because I already bought most of the games. Like, I already bought Red Matter, and a couple of the other ones I'd already picked up because I was like, oh, these are really cool looking VR games. So I was like, my friend Vietnam Wave here, he just got a MetaQuest. He doesn't have any VR games. You should get the Humble Bundle, VR bundle, and we can play this game together because it's got multiplayer.
And that's what happened, and here we are now.
So yeah, Dave was having some issues where the weapons were spawning outside his play space. I wasn't having this issue on the Vive, even though I lie about my play space as well. I wasn't having this issue, which confused me that Dave made his play space smaller and he was still having this issue.
Yeah, I'm sure I didn't look for a button because this was like one of. Was this the first VR game we did together?
We played together, yes.
Yes.
We played this and then Gorilla Tag.
I hadn't been looking in the options and didn't realise that most of them have a button, like they should, where you can recalibrate your play space. So there probably is one. I don't want to say there isn't one and be told there is.
I mean,
when I haven't checked.
it's a reputable developer. This is Resolution Games. I'd say one of the most famous games they've done is Demio, which was like the D&D board game. I believe it was some people's VR game in 2021. So they are like a big reputable VR developer with a lot of fans. So I assume if there was an issue with the game, there probably is a solution out there. I think we just have to look for it, sort of thing. But that's true. So Inbetween, so there's the campaign which I'll show afterwards. So there was a PvP match. There's also like a social lounge you can go into, and there's like a disco you can go to. I think we go to Disco 99. There's a bar where you can play darts. There's arcade machines where you can play at, and what was the other one? I think the other one was just going out.
There was a locked off area that we couldn't get to.
This little arcade game.
I hear Dave talking.
It's all as if he was an NPC.
I like how like
impressive.
in this area you can get these tokens. You can just find them around the world, but you can just take them out and do anything with them because I gave Dave an extra credit to have a go at the game, which he immediately stole and didn't actually play the game with. There's a little arcade game you can play.
Well, no, I tried to use it on the jukebox, but that is one of the game's worst jukeboxes.
I was trying to do a quick set in VR in the club. You can like put credits into the jukebox and then play songs. So I was like, I have no idea what any of these songs sound like, so I don't know which song to play. And then I played one and it was shit.
None of them were dance music, and you couldn't like skip the song.
Wait, is there no preview either?
No.
Okay.
So let's have a look. But there was also like a camera in there, and if you took a photo, so you could take a photo of your friend, and then it would upload it to the Discord of the game. And then so I thought that was pretty cool, because then if people are in the Discord, they go, oh, there's guys down at the Disco 99, let's go join them, sort of thing. I thought that was a cool idea. I was trying to take a photo of myself, but then it kept flipping to be the forward camera, so I think I got Dave to take a photo of me. I had to go on the little arcade game. I think it was weird because it was almost emulating like bad controls of like an old arcade machine sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't intuitive. It's like playing a game inside a game. It's like playing a game inside a very immersive game. It's like sort of very meta, like the Quest, I would say. There it is. Dave was trying to distract me while I was playing.
It's working.
Is this something I find really cool about social VR though? Is it is really weird to be talking to a friend who's miles away and you turn around and they're next to you and they're gesturing and you can talk to them. It is a really cool experience. I do like social VR stuff. Like I've played VR chat in the past, like very briefly. I would be interested to try VR chat and stuff like Rec Room, but there's another problem with VR that's happened recently, which we'll get into as we go to the bar. So we went to the bar, and I don't know if you know this, but over Christmas, Tony, a lot of children have been given Meta Quests 2. And it's got to a point where almost every social VR game you play on, there's going to be children on it. There's just no way around it right now. I mean, in both Blaston and Gorilla Tag, we encountered a lot of children.
Yeah, I just wanted to say not all children. Shout out to CJ the monkey, but continue.
Yeah, these guys, they saw me coming. They hustled me out of 2 tokens over a game.
I got hustled hard.
It's called Soda Blast, I think. It's called Soda Blast.
Yeah. Okay.
I was just stacking drinks. These guys, I was like, fuck it, I'll play these guys a game of darts.
Whoever has the most points at the end has to give.
So is it okay? So children VR is it worse than children in normal games? Is that
Yes.
Yes, I would say, because most VR seems to have.
Okay, Tony, imagine
chat.
Imagine you're in an immersive like experience and a child can start to be in your physical space. That gets really uncomfortable.
Okay, fair enough. Are they just like asking like weird questions, like doing weird things?
No, but
they seem
for
to
the
be
most part,
like genuinely helpful.
Yeah,
Like,
actually,
I
a
think
lot of
it's because they have.
a lot of the
I would just say.
a lot of the people we talk to are actually very helpful, but it's just like as a 27-year-old man, I just feel very uncomfortable talking to children. I just
Yeah.
don't like some of
Yeah,
them
that
wanted
makes sense.
like they were nice to us and they were like some of the
No, they're friendly and they're teaching us
some
how to play the
they're teaching us
game.
how to play, but then they're like add me on Discord and I'm like that sort of stuff makes me uncomfortable. Like that sort of gets into, you know, a different realm of social stuff. When you start to become friends with children, I think that's when it becomes a bit weird. I don't know, because the thing is, I did the exact same thing when I was a kid. I was 12 and I went on Counter-Strike Source with a microphone and I played on community servers on Counter-Strike Source and I made friends with a bunch of like, you know, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, and I would join clans with people, and it was, I don't know, if it didn't feel weird for me at the time, but I wonder if the people I was talking to felt a little bit like I'm feeling now.
Well, I think it might depend like how much like how much you can like talk to kids. Like 'cause I feel like I couldn't do it either.
Well, the thing is, it's very easy to talk to, and they're very trusting, which makes me very scared.
Yeah,
that
you have a responsibility.
It's very scared when I'm not talking to them because I understand how easily they could be taken advantage of by other people. So that's what makes me
would it be
worried.
better to talk to you?
Oh, Tony, did you know?
Yes, I feel like that it would be.
Because did you know the metaverse? You have to be over 18 to join Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse.
I'm not surprised.
I've seen some stuff in the news about children and that's gone on lately, and.
But it's not that I don't particularly like children, but it's not like I hate children. It's just that
you don't like interacting with them. You don't like.
I would prefer to be able to go to like a VR chat room or the club of Blaston and go in there and have a conversation with another adult without feeling like I had to watch what I said because there was children about or stuff like that. Like
I guess in these services, like, it's the option to like choose like what range of people you want to go to talk, like what age, I guess, like limit them. It's like I don't think I'd want to be.
We are going. I think we're in a really interesting point in VR right now where social VR is becoming very popular, especially in stuff like VR chat, and we are gonna have to come to a point where we say this game is. We're gonna have to start doing age limits, whether that be through
when have they ever worked on games?
Through credit card verification. Like,
well, do you think
the
these
YouTube
kids
system
bought
could
their
work?
Quests with credit cards?
No, but I'm saying
that parents will get the games for these children.
But you know, like the YouTube age verification system, where you have to like send them your passport or the credit card. Like, at least there's something in place, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is just me exploring the street, and then I went and played the single-player campaign because I wanted to see what that was like. And so here's me fighting Spike, the first opponent that you face in the campaign. They always have like really cool intros, which I thought was cool.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And they're designed in a way where they don't play like normal matches where you have access to all the weapons. Like the Spike fight, you're only using the pistol, and it's just teaching you the basic dueling mechanics. And then the second fight, the boar guy you face, he's all about teaching you to use the shield and the sniper, and he specifically has animations where he keeps firing at you until he gets into like a stunned animation, and that's when you're supposed to fire the sniper at him. Like, there's specific mechanics for the bosses, which I quite liked, which are also teaching you how to play the game.
Yeah, I had a go at this guy as well, but I could not win when the weapons were all out of my area to get, so I think after failing, I loaded up Bridge Crew, and you haven't got footage of that, have you?
I've talked about it in the past, I believe.
Yeah.
I've had footage of Bridge Crew.
I had a lot of fun with that.
Bridge Crew is really cool. Just to quickly reiterate on again, it's really a shame it got delisted from digital platforms.
Yeah, and I had to buy my copy on eBay.
Yeah, so
to get a Steam key because I wouldn't want to go on the Ubisoft website and get games from them.
So I think you can still get it off the Ubisoft website, but it's been delisted on Steam and the Quest store or the Oculus store, whatever it's called.
Yeah, and you can't just buy the DLC on its own from the Ubisoft website. You have to get it as a package,
right?
Which is quite sad. So I had to use CD keys for the first time.
Yeah.
I didn't mind. It was a good experience for CD keys. A lot of You hear a lot of shit about it, but it works.
I just assumed CD keys was bad, but I couldn't find specific things. I don't know if they're are they a third party or are they an official reseller? Because when it
I
comes
assume they'll be
to
third party, and I assume there'll be a lot of credit card fraud. But from
because
the consumer's end, yeah, it works fine.
because with stuff like Humble, where they're official key resellers and you know part of the money's going to charity, or Fanatical, where they're an official key reseller, so you know there's no one getting like taken advantage with. I'm very happy to use, you know.
Back in the day as well.
Yeah, there's Green Man Gaming as well. Is another good one.
But to be honest, I don't mind the thought of taking advantage of Ubisoft. I have not got a problem with that.
Well, but I assume these are just like keys that someone's bought and like they didn't use. Like they're just codes that like that they bought and like they're just
Well,
not in
the
use
big
right
thing
now.
was stolen credit cards, wasn't it, Joe?
Well, the thing there was a big thing with
absolutely.
G2A was the one where not only was it stolen credit cards, but it was also they would trick you into buying extra subscription protections that you didn't know about. They did a lot of like shady behind the scenes stuff like that.
Yeah. That is something to like be concerned about for sure.
But the interesting thing I wanted to point out about the campaign is you would have these fights against the bosses, and then the second part of the objective would be to like it would want you to go to the bar and then get a certain score on one of the arcade machines to get to the next boss. Which I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like they're getting you to fight the AI, but they're also like encouraging you to go to the social places to talk to other players. Which I'm like, that's an interesting way to do it. But
Was there any more to the PvP in this? Is it just one-on-ones, or was there like an arena sort of thing?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I've only played
Because we will
an
have to
hour.
go back
Yeah.
once I figure out like what's going wrong with mine. And
Yeah, I want to play Blaston
more of
again.
it.
I had lots of fun playing the campaign, and the PvP was fun for me at least.
well,
So
I can make that happen. I'm very limited on VR games at the moment, so it's one of the few I own.
So let's move on to the next one, which is oh my god, this
The
game is
best
so
one.
good. Gorilla Tag. So Gorilla Tag's been on my radar for the longest time. I'm probably gonna have to mute it, otherwise you're gonna hear like a million children screaming. So the way the game starts is it starts in this like mountain tutorial area where it's just like it teaches you how to move. So right now, Tony, it always records in third person. There's no way to record in first person.
It's not what you saw at all.
No, you are first person,
You're
and
first
the movement
person.
is brilliant. You should have this movement in all VR games.
So I've talked about unique VR movement. The games that come to mind are the skiing movement in Gorn, the teleportation, smooth locomotion, unique ones.
The Oop-Dup in LA Noire.
The LA Noire, where you physically like run to move. The Lost Temple game, where the entire game is built around you standing on moving platforms that realign you into your play space. I thought that was amazing. Gorilla Tag's in its class of its own, where the locomotion in this game is you're a gorilla with no legs. The way you move is you have to push yourself off the ground in order to move. So every time I'm moving, I'm pushing myself off the ground. And you do this harder to jump, you do it softer to just walk along. You can chain momentum. Yes, it's amazing.
Okay.
At first, it's really like confusing, but I think within like 5-10 minutes, it's so intuitive to move that it's just amazing. And once you realize how like easy it is to move around, it starts to become really fun, and you realize like how fast you can go. Because this was one of the first VR games you played, Dave, and you said you were like feeling sick playing Phasmo with smooth locomotion.
Yeah.
But
Phasmo made me feel very sick, and this didn't make me feel sick at all.
Yeah, because I thought maybe because I've been playing VR for literally years, so I have quite strong VR legs at this point where I can play smooth locomotion games and stuff like that. Yeah, I didn't feel sick at all really playing this. I mean, I played it for like an hour and a half straight. It was really fun. I sat down and drank some water, and I started playing again. Like, I think it helps being more physically fit playing this game if you play it for long periods as well. Like, you said that you were getting quite tired playing it, Wave, whereas I wasn't finding it too bad.
Yeah. But my main problem was hitting every single thing in my room.
Yeah, so I've talked about in the past games I like to refer to as play space testers, and in the past I've
Right.
referred to Gorn, where you will punch everything in your room. Gorilla Tag is like that on steroids. I got bonked.
Okay, fair enough.
There was lots of
So
people.
like cupboard punchers.
They realized I was the new guy. Oh, this guy was stealing my nose. This is what I'm talking about, like kids getting in your play space. These gorillas were
Yeah.
picking on the new kid, so I didn't know what was happening. So the new
The
player
boomer.
experience is like amazing, but also really confusing in this game. And it's sort of like a sink or swim experience, where you either adapt or you will fall. Where from the tutorial area, there's no menu. It just drops you straight into a live match, a live public match. And it wasn't until we were able to find another player who was like helping us get around. Like I had someone in my lobby who was showing me how to get to the computer with the options, and Dave had somebody else in his lobby. I'm showing him how to do it because we were in different lobbies. We were trying to figure out how to get into the same lobby. So this is like you will have to learn how to like jump over obstacles and stuff like that in order to get to the
Right.
basic main menu. And
Oh, I see. Okay, I get it. Okay, no, I was confused. Like, so this is right. So like, it's in like physical menus.
yes, I'll show you in a second.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out how to make this jump. I'm immediately going for like the double hand throw, but this guy's helping me. He's like, no, you should like put one hand down and then grab with the other hand. Like a lot of the people you're talking to, they were kids, but they were also very helpful. They were like, oh, you're new, this is how to play. Like I've heard people say in the reviews like this game's really fun, but public lobbies are just full of like people screaming and racism and stuff like that.
Right.
But from my experience, it was quite good. Like I think this is definitely going to be a more of a private public lobby experience where play with friends or play with a select group of people you know, and then bring in newer people slowly, because it seems like some of the public lobbies can get quite toxic. But yeah, so you type into the computer the room you want to join. So he was like, type in a word that nobody else will be in for your own private room. So I typed in the word "come." Apparently 6 people were already in a room called "come." So I was like, oh shit, I need to type in something more unique.
It kind of reminds me of like you know, in the real world where they have maybe not zoos are the right word, but they like look after gorillas and things, like see
But
like
this
how
is
they
where
interact with certain logic puzzles.
me and Dave were joining the same lobby, so I got into his world, I think. Here, so there's Dave. So you start off with a random gorilla name, and then you have to give yourself names. This is our friend CJ, who like pretty much showed us how to play the entire game.
Yeah.
So you type in this computer your name. So I think you were Ape Boy and I was Banana Man. I wanted to make sure we had gorilla names.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
But there's like he was showing
you can
us
not have a gorilla name.
go into the system. You can change your current stuff. There's like a whole cosmetic. It's free to play, but there's a whole like cosmetic system where you can earn in-game currency by I think just logging in daily, or you can of course I think there's like a supporter pack on the store page. I think this is one of those games where I would actually consider getting the support pack just because of how amazing this game is. But there's like a little mirror where you can see yourself, because you have to remember I'm playing in first person, so this is the first time I've seen myself, me and CJ dabbing.
Yeah, I think it needs more map, because that is all the gameplay I needed. I didn't really care for the tag modes and the infection and stuff. It is just the virtual climbing frame that you can use.
You just like the
It's
social
brilliant.
parkouring. That's what you sort of liked, I would say.
Yeah, no, the climbing is amazing.
Like,
you just need
did you like
more.
exploring? Did you do?
Not really exploring, just the moving around
Okay,
the
just
world
having fun moving
space.
around. Okay.
Yeah, so and
that's
it's
like
it's like a virtual climbing frame,
city
basically.
area. I think we go.
That was fun enough for me.
Because originally we were going to play this with Halo Andy's girlfriend. We were going to prank her into playing it. And then Andy was setting up for her, and then he started playing it, and he had so much fun, he just kept playing it with us for hours.
Until he had to go to bed.
Well, he said he started to feel sick, I think.
Yeah.
And then we eventually convinced another friend who had VR. So we had like 4 of us who were all friends and know each other in real life, and we were all connecting with each other playing VR through Gorilla Tag, and it was really fun. And I think like because we were talking to CJ this whole time, and he was like showing us how to play, and he was just like some kid. He was literally on a meta quest, and he was like, "Oh, I can show you this guy." And then the dreaded moment came, and CJ said, "My meta quest 2 is at 2% battery," and that's when we knew we were going to lose CJ. And he said, "If you're still here in an hour, I'll come back to this room. I will find you." And we found him again. He came back.
And he did.
Oh, he came back. That's cool.
So this is like we're going to the computer. I
Where
think
we're
this is when we
changing
got
our
Andy
colours.
in. And we were
Yeah,
teaching
Andy's
him
just
how to
come
join
in.
us. And he was showing us around. So we were exploring the cavern map for the first time, and this is where things get really vertical.
Yeah.
And you realize like how much you can move around in this game. Skipping ahead. And he was showing us like how to make all of these jumps and where we want to jump and stuff like that. Like yes, like when you made the jumps for the first time, it was really cool. Oh, it's 369 Monkey. That was Andy's monkey name.
Okay.
Oh, I think me and Andy started picking each other's nits here. Yeah, the longer you play the Gorilla Tag, the more you start to role play as a monkey.
Yeah.
It got to a point where we were all just running around making monkey noises, like swinging our arms around in VR in our room. There's Andy's.
It was a wild night.
Yeah, it was a wild gorilla night. I mean, I can't recommend Gorilla Tag enough.
Yeah, I couldn't make the jump, so I kept falling down into the canyon.
But
And
I think in the beginning, like I think Dave was failing some of the jumps, but then I think by the end of the night, Dave was a lot better than me. Like he was very quick at learning, so that was cool.
Born to be a gorilla.
Yeah, well, no, it just comes back to like all these thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years of evolution. They just go out the window when you.
Yeah.
That this is how we're meant to live our lives. Is all I'm saying.
Okay. Well,
it's like when we stopped because we played Bridge Crew before this, and I was like, we were enjoying it, but I was like, let's play Gorilla Tag, and you weren't sure because you'd never heard of Gorilla Tag, and I was like, as soon as I stopped playing,
it was a meme. You were talking about it like it was a
meme. It
is
kind of a meme though, because it is like it's an experience you'll never get in any other VR game. I would say.
Watching this now makes me want to launch it again.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I stopped playing Bridge Crew, I was like, man, I want to play some more Star Trek Bridge Crew, and then as soon as I stopped playing Gorilla Tag, I was like, I want to play more Gorilla Tag. It's really fun.
That and we did really well on Bridge Crew. I think a lot better than you did with Matt.
Yeah, I think it's because we had like more experience at that point, and we'd done more of the tutorial as well.
Yeah, it's the second Call of Duty, really.
Shaking a hand of a fellow monkey. You'll love to see that. We fell down.
Yeah, notice how he's not yellow and I am.
Well, eventually I'll become yellow because I'm the banana man. There's like a whole crystal. I think Luke joined us, so we got our fourth friend for the crystal section. I think CJ's headset died.
Yeah, CJ died about the time Luke got in, and then Luke started streaming, and a lot of random people from Twitch.
So Luke started streaming on Twitch while we were playing, and then he put the lobby code in the Twitch stream, and we basically built like this mini community. It was half us, and then half random kids who'd been looking up Gorilla Tag streams.
Right, a bit weird.
But that's the sort of like just random. It's like random. It's like in single player games you get random NPC encounters. It's sort of like that, but in like
real life
in VR.
But VR, yeah.
That shit happens to me in real life. I've had so many. Every time I go out on my bike, I always get some guy who's lost or their car's broken down. Like I get so many random NPC encounters in real life.
Well, I try and avoid those. So.
Yeah, they can get real dangerous.
Okay. You got some bad random VR encounters.
Yeah, it only takes.
You can see here, like I'm pushing off the walls to get up, and that's the sort of stuff that just starts to come naturally to you. And it's really fucking cool. I cannot recommend Gorilla Tag enough. I think this is going to be a long one because we're already an hour in. Hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades, Dave.
Okay, I finally find out how the grenade launcher.
Guys, did you know there's an official Valve-sanctioned TF2 VR inside a game called Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades? So, Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades is basically a VR gun simulator. I'm not particularly a fan of like realistic gun simulators in VR. It's not really my thing. But I couldn't pass up an opportunity to play TF2 in VR. And yeah,
So yeah, you only did this because of like the TSC.
because of the it's called Meat Fortress. So you have like
okay.
you have like these sausages with TF2 weapons, and they remade every TF2 weapon and guessed how it would function in VR. I was really struggling to load any of the weapons. I think the sticky bomb launcher and the medic gun were the most confusing for me.
Okay, so I think that is a break barrel revolver.
I
Maybe no. Okay, so on that side of it, you've got a little, like you see that little lever on the side of the barrel. You pull that out, and that should flip the cylinder out to the side. I don't know if you figure it out eventually or not.
No, I couldn't figure it out. I figured out how to load the 9mm from like the engineer and stuff like that. That was quite easy. I think eventually I give up on the revolver and I go to the sticky bomb.
So I assume every weapon is as complicated as this?
Yes, but the thing is, Tony, a lot of the weapons in TF2 make no physical sense.
Oh, right.
Like, they wouldn't be able to exist, and there's parts on the weapons that just make no sense.
Yeah.
I literally called that.
Yeah.
Literally everything I said you've just done.
Yeah, that's true.
It took me so long to figure out how to, like, even load this and fire it, though.
Yeah, I think that's a failure, of your gun knowledge. Guns can get pretty wacky.
The TF2 weapons, they make absolutely no sense, though. I know how to use the shovel.
It kind of looks like you don't. That should be for entrenching.
Okay, Dave, how do you fire the medigun? I could not figure this out. Why does it have...
I would have to have a look at it first.
How do you fire the medigun?
It's like a fire hose. You've got that top lever.
That doesn't do anything!
Do you not push that forward?
No, it doesn't do anything.
There's
so many, like... There's like so many levers and stuff on the guns that just do nothing. And you don't realize until you actually trying to load and fire them how like wacky TF2 weapons are.
Right, okay.
Here's me putting on smooth locomotion because it said you could rocket jump, but only if you I don't like the little slide locomotion they had. Only if you turn on like smooth locomotion you could rocket jump. I was like, oh, okay, I'll turn it on so I can do, because I know how to load a rocket launcher.
Oh, okay.
You just put the rocket.
Practice.
You just put a rocket in the end.
I want to see if you hold it right though. No, you do not. But like movies and games get that all the time. You are holding the wrong handle there.
Here's the world's first TF2 VR rocket jump from me. You'll love to see it. Yeah, guys, I finally did it. I did a fucking TF2 rocket jump in VR.
Can you use these in the actual hot dog sauces?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go into like an actual it's like a really powerful gun simulator tool where you can simulate anything you want basically. I think I'm like, here's me actually figuring out how to use the sticky bomb launcher and how to fire it and stuff.
Demo, man?
I'm gonna do the sticky bomb jump. Or at least I was attempting to.
I think that's a lot of sticky bombs for a sticky bomb jump.
No, that's how many you need. I'm trying to figure out how to fire the weapon again. Just me, Dave. If you get this game and launch it, you'll understand like how difficult it is to figure out how like you physically fire these weapons. Because I
think it's funny that you just emptied a live round because you cycled the weapon. That's cool. That's a good attention to detail.
Like,
if you look on your right, you've still got a grenade on the floor.
Okay, Dave. So pulling the trigger fires the sticky bombs. How do you set off the sticky bombs? Do you wanna...
Well, I imagine it's something to do with the battery, the antenna, and stuff on top. I would have thought
it's a button on your controller, but I don't know which one it is.
Oh no, I'm finding that in all games, like what the buttons do randomly. Like it doesn't seem to have, for them the analog sticks doesn't seem to make much sense or have anything consistent in between games.
But here you can see like some of the non-TF2 weapons brought in as well.
Oh, hang on. Candy cane.
You can see this Soljeki-chan body pillar you can spawn in. Just like a sausage. I was beating shit up with this candy cane. So the 9mm was what I rocked with because it was so simple. It was just you load the clip in the bottom and then you fire it.
You have to cock it first, though.
I don't think I figured out how to load the shotgun.
The side?
Underneath.
Oh, it's under the okay. Right.
You see the thing under the barrel that the
Yeah, I don't know if I figured
slides
that out.
scrolling. That's a magazine tube, and the thing on the sides is an ejection port. You see, you put that in the bottom there.
Oh, I did. Oh, I did get it.
You can load them like that, but that is cheating. But you can do that in real life on some shotguns.
Okay.
Yeah. There's some really awesome like trick videos where people see people throwing a shotgun cartridge and them catching it in there and then loading it.
Right.
But yeah, I think like some of my friction with this one was I just didn't know how to play hot dogs, horseshoe, and hand grenades, and I just went straight into Meat Fortress. So there's so many menus and stuff that I just don't understand. But here's a game of hot dog, horseshoes, and hand grenades, and me just running around fighting them.
This doesn't have multiplayer, does it?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Because it looks like it's built for multiplayer.
There's a spy. There's a spy. He was cloaked.
If they could just remake all those, all the Steam games for VR.
Yeah.
Sick. Here's me figuring out how to get infinite ammo so I could actually reload my guns.
I hear a turret. Is that?
It's an engineer turret, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this was really fun.
I just love watching you fumble about with the magazines.
No, he's not. He's not a gunman.
Well, no, that's a VR thing.
Yeah, I guess.
Like actually trying to put it in there.
Well, games like normal like pancake games, like just like a locked animation, right?
Yeah, or on the killing floor, it just reloads like for you when you press the button or you are out of bullets. It doesn't actually try and make you force in there, which can be.
Yeah, like hot dog, horseshoe, and hand grenades, they will do everything as realistically as possible. But then they took a very cartoon game and then applied that logic to it, which then results in this.
I don't know. I've seen some things you do, like where you mix the guns to make hybrids, which is quite funny. But...
Yeah, I quite like this. Like, yeah, it's like a funny juxtaposition.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a multiplayer for this because this looks amazing.
I'm surprised it wasn't. Like looking at this.
No, it's single player only.
That's crazy.
But they're constantly updating it. Like it got an update on. They just made a Meatmas map in 2021 Christmas. So. Yeah, this game's really cool.
Yeah.
The Forest VR, Dave. The Forest.
Here we go.
So I've played Green Hell and I've played the Forest, and now I've played Green Hell and the Forest VR. And I gotta say, the Green Hell VR compared to the Forest so far, I prefer Green Hell VR. But you gotta understand the differences between the two. So the Forest VR is built for non-VR, and then it has VR slapped on top of it.
It's slapped onto the side, but I think a lot of that was a test to see how they would develop VR for the next one. So I'm hoping that they have kept that in mind.
I don't know if you've had like anything about Sons
We
of the
haven't,
Forest
no.
VR.
We have not, which is the worrying thought. Maybe that they decided it was too difficult, but I'm hopeful that they can get something working. And it's only as janky as the Forest is janky.
So I've talked about the Forest before on the podcast. I said it was one of my favorite multiplayer experiences I've had playing through with my friend Dave, and we've come back to play it. We finished the game ourselves, but we were introducing like 6 different
Everyone on
players.
the
Yeah,
Discord who was
Yeah.
willing to have a go.
we were saying, hey, everyone come play the Forest for the first time. It's really fun. And I was like, oh, I've already beat it, but I think it'd be really interesting if I tried playing it in VR. And I did stick to that for a long time until I got to the caves. And then I was like, I need to go to my computer because like swimming in caves is so janky in VR that a lot of the like experience of the game is just not possible playing in VR. I would say without like extreme frustration. Like walking around, cutting down trees, like even buildings, like fine in VR. I think it just when it comes to the more complicated stuff, that's when the Forest VR really shows its like, well, I would say age because it's an older game and it's definitely an older VR game, and it shows that it's it's a flat pancake game with a VR game slapped on top of it, and that's always going to be a not as good experience as a game that's designed for VR.
We've had gorilla movement.
If it had gorilla movement, it would be game of the year. It would be
Yeah,
game of the year.
think of all the jumping from trees to trees you could do. Yeah, every game should have monkey
Optional
movement.
gorilla movement.
Yeah. It really needs to be like what the comfort options.
Yeah.
Like you could just turn that on.
I believe there is only smooth locomotion in the Forest. There may be teleportation. I forget. If I don't use teleportation in a VR game, it's usually because it's either it doesn't exist or it's not very good. It's not very good on Vive ones. Because there is like Half-Life Alyx is the gold standard for how you make teleportation work on a Vive wand.
Yeah.
But obviously the game is designed around teleportation, so you have to keep that in mind. Whereas other games like The Forest is designed that you can run around and sprint.
Oh yeah, we got
Yes.
cannibals here, guys.
Oh, Dave's on the walkie-talkie. You love to hear that.
I was warning you about the cannibals, and then you got hit. If you'd
Thank you.
heeded my warning, you would have got out your backpack.
I
The
do.
cannibals, though.
There is some fun
Remember,
about like
blocking is extremely useful.
physically swinging against cannibals in VR.
I think it's right click.
I feel like someone who doesn't play like horror games or VR games, they could get scared by this. But
This is the
at this
fucking
point, I'd played
massacre.
so much like The Forest. I'd played so much like VR horror games. Like I was just. I was just
Yeah,
like,
I would
whatever.
never say the
David,
forest
back.
is scary, more unintentionally hilarious.
Yeah,
Like with the jank. I could see why
I've got my
if,
radio out,
if you
sorry.
weren't used to
but the
it, you
radio
might.
wave. One thing you can do is you can kind of cheese it in VR as well because you can like quickly like spam hit by doing like lots of little
Yeah.
small swings. You can actually cheese out a
Oh,
lot of
doesn't-
damage on trees and
doesn't
enemies.
calculate like a minimum force. Like,
No, because it's
Yeah,
not a
okay.
physics-based VR game. First,
Right. Well, no, but you could at least calculate that one thing, like not have it physics based. But yeah. Ugh.
But yeah, playing The Forest in VR is an experience. I think it is fun. I would recommend if you have VR and you want to play The Forest,
Okay,
try it
so
out.
Open your
but-
inventory, and on the left side.
All right, Dave,
Dave.
piss off.
Maybe mute the audio. This is me shouting at everyone how to play the game.
I remember that. Yeah.
Like I like some of the stuff. Like there's actual physical bow pulling back and shooting. They actually added that, which was cool. Them adding. Am I eating white berries here?
Yeah, I was gonna say, why are you eating the poison ones, mate?
There's actual like physics with the axe swinging. You can take your lighter and physically light it with physics, which is cool. And like the
Why are
way
you carrying around all these cardboard boxes? What are you doing with them?
just in case, you never know.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, like, some of the stuff is cool, like intuitive, like the way you bind stuff to your backpack. Like you have the key binds on PC. The way you do
Yeah.
it on VR is instead of bringing up the full backpack, you can pull a backpack out of your out from your side, and then it just has the 4 things you've bound to it for quick access, and you just pull them off the backpack, whichever one you want, which is like a cool idea.
Oh,
I,
that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's
I
good.
just noticed in your crafting menu, you're holding like a little LED torch so you can see if you're crafting at night.
you'd love to see.
That's well thought out.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to give this a go next time we launch the forest.
You're gonna try it in
But-
VR.
Yeah, I've got to.
I think you're gonna be sick, but we'll see.
Probably. From my experiences so far, it's more the camera looking like that makes me feel sick when I'm moving camera smoothly off the
I
analog
love
stick.
role playing in VR. Like every time I fucking launch Half-Life, I just spend 10 minutes just role playing, throwing bottles around, because no matter how many times I play VR, one of my favorite things to do is just play with physics objects and just role play with myself, just pissing about it. It's just always fun to me, and that is something that you just don't get in any other medium. Is the immersion and like the interactability of VR. Like I think that you've been playing VR for a couple of days now, you've come to understand how fun, like immersive and intuitive,
Yeah.
and the scale of things. I think
Definitely the future. There's a a long way to go.
you're gonna be in Zuck's metaverse. That will be for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
signing up to the real metaverse VR chat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the Forest VR. I would recommend trying it out. Am I throwing a tennis ball here? I was struggling to figure out
Yeah,
how to
no, I
throw
think
things.
you've were playing tennis with Andy before, yeah.
Go fetch. I was trying to kill a bird with a tennis ball.
The tennis balls in the forest are a bit of a disappointment. You couldn't use the actual tennis racket. I don't know in VR if they've changed that.
Oh, I think you're trying to give me a deer head.
Yeah. Not sure why. Thought you might like it in VR.
A very different experience. Guess who? I think Kay was trying to give me some meat here. She'll love to see. But the thing is, I only eat human meat.
Back when you eat fucking normal meat.
got-
It didn't
I-
take you long to turn into a cannibal.
I got an achievement recently, Tony. It's called Major Cannibalism. It's an achievement for eating an entire family's worth of human meat.
Oh, okay. Family bucket.
I pretty much only ate human meat, but the fucking sanity in the forest is so bugged that I can never get my sanity low enough to a point where I was like, I should be insane. It was always like I was eating people constantly. It was like, your sanity is 70%. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm trying to go insane around here.
They couldn't get the. I think we said in the actual forest video that they couldn't get the sanity working as it should be because they were meant to have
It was meant
like
to be more
some
like
of the
green
stuff for
hell.
green hell
Yeah.
and more than that, and lots of audio cues. There were also meant to be hallucinogenic mushrooms in this as well, which would have been amazing.
One thing I've always thought would be really cool, and it's never really been done in a game I've played at least, is if you play a co-op game halfway through it just replaces your co-op partner with like an AI, and the AI starts doing fucked up shit, and you think it's your friend. I always thought that would be like a really interesting like experiment.
Yeah,
Where, that sort of stuff
interesting.
where it just like starts fucking with you, I always think is really cool. That's why I love Daniel Mullins games and stuff like that, where you're never really sure what's going on.
Very subversive. I think the closest thing to like that is Kane and Lynch, the first one.
Right.
Where your co-op partner is seeing different stuff, so you don't understand unless you're actually talking to your co-op partner. You don't understand why he's just shooting civilians.
You don't have to swim. I'm just doing this because I'm a role player. I just like pretending I'm swimming.
I feel like you should have to do that to swim. That makes
this
more
is
sense.
if this was LA Noir VR, you would have to be doing this.
That's like a Minecraft VR. You have to do that to swim.
In Vivecraft or Minecraft VR?
Vivecraft. I don't know.
They're two different experiences.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I have no idea.
Vivecraft is based on the Java version. Minecraft VR is based on the Bedrock edition.
I have no idea. They look the same.
I would be interested in trying some Minecraft VR.
I've asked Michael to set it up, but
does it have to? Yeah, I would understand. Is there crossplay?
Yes, I think you can get like a Quest version working with Vivecraft, but I have to look because I know it works on the Vive because it's called Vivecraft, and you can set it
Yeah.
up, and you can set it up on a multiplayer Minecraft server, so we could all see how I'm moving in VR while you're playing on like
Yeah.
a PC
Well,
version.
one's just like adding
Because
like
I've played
VR
it single
controls to the
player.
normal game.
But I do think it'd be really fun, especially now considering that like me, you, Andy, even like Katie or Andy could play in VR. Calvin could play as well. Like there could be
Lonk
like
play.
yeah, there could be like 5 of us all playing in
Yeah,
VR.
well, our numbers are growing.
The VR gamers are growing in size, guys. We will take
Yeah.
over.
The meta army.
All thanks to the Meta
We will
Quest.
destroy the pancake gamers with our
Yeah.
revolution.
No
Yeah, I couldn't
longer will we
understand
look
why
at
you were
those-
so elitist until I got VR, and yeah, now I just look down on you, Tony.
Well, I'm still waiting for the City Builder VR experience. So tell me when that's out.
Yeah, you got to try the Forest VR Wave. It's fun for a bit, and then it's very janky. I've already said
Yeah.
to Dave, like you've played like Super Hot VR, Gorilla Tag, Blaston, and you played Rhombus of Ruin.
And some Killing Floor, and we
Yeah.
did Phasmo.
So I'm saying like, as soon as these games are like nothing compared to like Half-Life. As soon as you play Half-Life Alyx, every other VR experience would be ruined for you once you realize
Yeah. How good it could
how
be.
janky they are compared to these. There's one last game I wanted to talk about quickly before we go. It's a bit of a long one, guys. It's a VR one, and I play VR games all the time. So this is Vertigo Remastered. So this is it's an immersive story-driven shooter incorporating the cutting-edge VR gameplay. Vertigo Remastered's complete overhaul and occasional reimagining of the 2016 original. So they've taken a popular VR game from 2016 and they've remastered it in 2020.
Right. With VR like new VR controls and headsets.
Yeah, there's new like because this is like a flat screen thing. I think some of the cutscenes that were like flat screen cutscenes are now like actual in-game VR cinematics sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But it sort of is this weird system where you can see the DNA of like, oh, this is like a early tech demo 2016 Vive game. And then there's other parts where it's actually upgraded and feels a lot more fun. Vertigo Remastered is sort of a mixed bag. So far from what I've played, I've only played about an hour of it. Because we don't complete games on Tangerine, we talk about them. I just like to talk about some stuff I've been playing. Actually, I do complete a lot of games I played on Tangerine recently. But with VR games, you can sort of just play it for an hour and be like, okay, this is what the game's about. But it starts off here. Arm-tracked VR. You got no legs, which...
Got no legs.
Which is the metaverse approach. I was watching, I think it was Ordinary Things video on the metaverse, and he was saying like, in the metaverse you have no legs, and this is probably so that you have no genitals, so Mark Zuckerberg doesn't have to worry about censoring that.
Right. Oh dear.
I was trying to figure out how to light a fire until I pressed a different button. This is sort of how like the game starts. Is you're sort of just in a house, and then this purple stuff sort of just.
Yeah.
So, I think this was like a flat screen cutscene, maybe even, or it, like the graphics weren't as good as this. I started to run away. I was like, I'm gonna run away from it, and I'm like, shit, I can't escape. You get like pulled into this vortex. And weird shit starts happening. I would say this game seems very... If I was going to describe it, I would like... It's very Rick and Morty-esque, I would say, if that's a good way to describe it to people who've seen Rick and Morty. Apparently this game is quite short as well.
Okay.
But it's sort of like a... VR, FPS, RPG. I think the graphics are cool, but you get teleported to this lab, and this is where I go into like the. It gets very like Rick and Morty with the science and like the like comedy.
Right. Okay.
I know you don't watch Rick and Morty, but I think Dave can look at this and go, "Yeah, I could see that sort of thing."
Yeah, I see that.
This guy's seen Pickle Rick.
Funniest shit I ever saw.
I thought it was Gherkin Rich, but okay.
Rich Evans from Ellen.
Yeah.
But like, you go back to this. You do have this idea of you can only move while teleporting. I think was originally how you did it with this machine. And one of my big complaints with this was it was really fucking finicky and slow. And then I realized like halfway through you could upgrade this thing by finding collectibles, so you could make it teleport you faster, and it had a longer range, which I think made it a lot better, sort of thing. So I'm,
maybe like yeah.
there's certain points where you need to teleport. So I'm playing with smooth locomotion, but then I'm using the teleporter when I need to move, because you also need to pick up this juice with this machine as well. This is like your currency to upgrade your RPG stuff. I really have like mixed feelings about Vertigo Remastered, because there is a really cool game in here, but there's also like some really like janky stuff, and I feel like that comes from the fact that it's a 2016 game remastered sort of thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think they remade the game like from the ground up, or like if like inspired by this game, like made another one, it would be better?
I couldn't figure out to kill these robots, so I realized I had to teleport away from it, but the teleport thing was janky, so I couldn't figure that out. What else was there?
Cool
So like
yeah,
you get like a laser sword that is not a lightsaber.
Oh, okay. Distinctively different.
That's one of your like main weapons you get in the
laser sword.
early game, and then you get like a laser pistol as well. That's quite interesting.
Okay.
The physical ladder climbing. I've come to love physical ladder climbing playing VR. I know not everybody likes it, but I actually quite like it these days.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks. As someone not played like VR climbing a ladder, it looks fun. It looks fun though.
I think smooth locomotion is a lot better to watch as well compared to teleportation when it comes to watching back footage.
That is true. I would agree with that.
And whereas like teleportation feels just a lot better. So you sort of need to like you press the teleport button and then you pull it towards your face. It's very budget cutsy, if you remember the gun from Budget Cuts.
Yeah. That, and it looks, your stream looks very limp. I don't know if that's by design.
No, that's how it felt as well. Like the teleport gun stream was like very like limp, finicky, and that's where it comes to the upgrade system. I think where it's trying to make you get those upgrades, sort of thing. But I think they went too far by making it too weak in the beginning. It feels terrible to use.
Need to start off stronger and then have upgrades on top of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks interesting, but
yeah,
it's sort of like a roller coaster.
Check it out, maybe.
It starts off weird and then it gets weirder.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I'm intrigued. Like, I'm looking. Oh, this is actually kind of interesting.
It's just like stuff like this happens, and you're just like,
Yeah.
okay, like you're expecting to go, okay, let's find out what's happening, and then you go to the next room, and then it just gets weirder, and you're like, what the fuck is going?
Yeah.
It's just like.
Yeah. I like this sort of stuff. I like that. That's cool. What the hell is that? Oh, okay.
So I have big complaints about this boss specifically. The tracking for this boss was really bad in my opinion. Like I was hitting this tentacles and stuff, and it just wasn't registering. I think that may have been a bug, but like I'm getting hit and it's not registering, and then I'm hitting him and it's not registering.
Yeah,
like, and
buggy.
this is like I'm like how long? I'm like 25 minutes into the game, and there's a full-on boss fight with like really janky physics, and I kept dying. I remember being really fucking frustrated playing against this boss because it was so janky. And then there's like full-on bullet dodging, and then you have to shoot back the bullets. Like,
Oh, is that what you're supposed to be doing?
yeah, you have to hit them back with your laser sword, but this isn't like explained to you in any way. This is 20 minutes into the game. Nothing's been explained to you.
There's no mechanic. There's no like other like mechanic, like other enemy that like
No,
has that.
not really, no.
You can bounce it back. Yeah. Okay.
because they because I never played the original, because I'm playing the remastered from the beginning because I've heard good things about it. But so the things they changed was the fully physics-driven weapon handling and interaction system, returning in new enemies, hybrid teleport smooth locomotion to support any comfort level, which I liked that they had the smooth locomotion and the teleportation. The achievements, a new soundtrack, functional checkpoints, which is probably nice considering how like annoying some of this game can be. A variety of difficulty options to tell your experience, and advanced spectator options, including experimental asymmetric co-op mode. Apparently you can play this in co-op in its experimental form, so that's an interesting thing to see. I know like the guy who made this is coming out with a Vertigo 2 that looks quite fun. I mean, we talked about it in the podcast before, but hopefully, you know, some of these issues are I'm really hoping it's more an issue of it's an old game being remastered, and
that's what I'm hoping,
and that the other game that's built from scratch could, you know, not suffer some of these issues. But we'll just have to see.
I really like
this
this concept. It looks really interesting.
It is really interesting. Also, this boss is like a bullet sponge. He has way too much health. I have no idea if I'm dealing damage. Like, you have no idea if you're dealing damage to the boss at all.
No.
So I'm just standing here for like fucking 10 minutes just deflecting bullets. I have no idea if this is what I'm supposed to do. No, this is literally what you're supposed to do. I think this is like, well, it's at least my big criticism of the game. Like,
yeah, because like you could have like those tentacles in the background like falling off.
Yeah, you need some sort of system to say, hey, you're damaging this guy. See, I think I die there, and then I start it again. And you have to restart the entire fight.
Right.
Eventually, I beat
that does
it.
seem really annoying. Like, cool idea, looks really cool, but yeah, you then ruin it, making it annoying.
But this game has some really cool ideas and moments where I'm just like, this genuinely scared the fuck out of me. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, especially in VR, that was terrifying. Yeah, this is amazing. This is kind of like, not entirely, but like as like the weirdness of like something like Control, but like in VR. Reminds me of. But it looks very interesting.
I do want to try this again. I did get a little bit sick from the smooth locomotion in this game.
Oh, really?
I felt like, but I'm willing to give it another go, and I'm looking forward to trying it again.
But the second one.
Where maybe I think I'll give this another go when I load up one of my VR sessions. But it looks like my immediate VR plans for the future may involve Gorilla Tags. So
yeah, they've got to.
Yeah. And
it's a new palette cleanser.
Right?
So guys, thanks for joining me for an hour and 40 minutes where I talk about Steam.
Yeah, that was longer than expected.
But the thing is, I was like, the VR Next Fest was so disappointing.
It would have been like
it would have been a bit short.
Games.
It would have been entirely talking about Green Hell VR, which is fine, but I also play a bunch of VR games anyway. I thought, let's just do a big VR episode. And yeah, this was really fun. So thank you guys for joining me and sitting through all
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.